Do you believe that most of the things that are good in your life are derived from relationships?
Yes.
Do you believe that having too many relationships can be taxing?
No. I believe that relationships have a natural life cycle. I believe that there are people that come in and out, but their role or part is to impact you. That relationship and the impact is what,
So you're saying that it's okay to have 1,000 relationships?
not at the same time. No.
That's what I mean?
No.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Do you believe that it can be taxing if you have many relationships at the same time?
I believe if define relationship.
That is exactly the question that's coming up.
What type of relationship?
No, relationship is
Okay.
relationship. So, therefore, you have to know what a relationship is. Otherwise, you don't know how many is too many. So, how old are you?
35.
What is your degree in?
Business management.
From which university?
Eastern Nazarene College.
Where is that?
It's in Quincy, Massachusetts.
Okay. Then you're old enough, you're educated enough to know what a relationship is. So what is it?
A relationship is a mutual respect and exchange between individuals where they are giving at least 50% or more of each other, so they're equal in what they are receiving and getting from each other, and that they are showing respect and communicating effectively through understanding each other.
That's too much for a first grader to understand. If a first grader cannot understand, your explanation is too advanced for most people.
Right. A relationship is a agreement between two people that they uphold. Is that?
I give you an example of a relationship that doesn't fit that description, but it is a relationship.
Okay.
For example, you have a child who does not do things that you want, who does not make you happy. Everything is negative about that child from your perspective. But you have a relationship. So your definition doesn't work, does it?
No, it wouldn't, because the child wouldn't give the 50%.
Thank you. I give you a second chance to define relationship for a first grader because you're old enough, educated enough. And if you cannot define what a relationship is, you don't know if you have too many or too few. And this is the root cause of most negative problems in the life of most people.
A relationship is a connection.
That's relabeling. What's a connection?
Connection.
Forget it. What's a relationship? Just relabeling it doesn't explain
All
anything.
right. Okay, I gotta go.
Now you begin to see why most parents are having a hard time with
Raising.
having a, most parents can raise children, but they have a hard time having a relationship with their children. At the same time, most adult children have a hard time doing a relationship with their parents.
Good.
Because most people cannot explain, define what it is, and so they're not able to master the art of relationships.
Every word that came in my mind, I came shared, understanding, and respect was the closest one I could get to what a relationship is. Shared, I said no, because the child might not share the same goal as the parent or role. Understanding, that's something that you're gained. It's not something you both can share until it's attained. Respect, though, even if it's something the child doesn't agree with and you don't agree with it, respect is something that you can have as part. I don't know if it's part or included in that relation, in what a relationship is.
Respect is another can of worms. So let's go back to the point of origin, which is relationship. Because when we talk about respect, that's a whole new universe.
Okay, all right.
So let's try this. Here's Thumoslang for you.
Okay.
Relationship. That means ongoing relations. Notice, relations, plural. It takes at least two relations, but they have to be ongoing in order for you to have a relationship. Otherwise, it's a phantom relationship. However, that definition doesn't work if you don't understand what a relation is. Here's another thumbnail from Thumoslang for you. Relation. That means purposeful involvement. If you want to have a relation with me, you have to have an activity with me, but not just any activity. When you ride a bus with me as a stranger, we are doing an activity together, but that's not a purposeful activity because that purpose is not shared between the two of us. So to have a relation, you have to have an involvement that has a purpose shared between the two partners of that relation. But that definition doesn't work if you don't understand what involvement means. Involvement, here's another thumbnail from Thumoslang. That means causing inclusion. if you create an event and you bring Mr. X and Mr. Y to your event, you involve both of them. Both of them doing your event with you. Does that mean that Mr. X and Mr. Y are having a relation with one another? No, because neither was the cause for the inclusion of that event. Most people are in the position of Mr. X or Mr. Y with respect to the other Mr. X or Mr. Y, and they think that they are in relations, even worse, relationship, and that's why their connection fails every fucking time.
And really, it's the one that created the inclusion.
Yes, that have a true relation.
Okay.
And thus hope for relationship. How's that for Thumoslang?
That's amazing. That makes a lot more sense than being, just being. So really, if I go back to my example of a business creating a social event, the only true relationship in that structure is the individuals to the business, not to each other. If I'm grasping that right and applying it correctly. So Herbalife has an event, all the distributors go. Even though they might work together, they might be close, their true relationship basis is based on the company, not on their individual social experiences.
Right.
All right.
Now, do you see why Jason did not apply the phrase that I came up with to describe Thumoslang, which is nomenclature for social life, but he preferred to explain Thumoslang as the architecture for social logic.
Yes. Yeah, because it's building blocks to teach social interactions. It's a foundation.
So now, with those definitions, how many true relationships do you now have today? And I would like to remind you that you're on camera.
I'm on camera? Oh. True relationships. I'm going to say I'm very lucky. Because if I have to count, I'd say I'm at least 20. At least.
Name one that you can talk on camera about.
One? I have to pick one?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'd say one right now would be my friend Paola. We met online.
That's fine.
I know. I'm just gonna go into the story.
That's fine.
Okay.
We don't need to have the details.
Okay.
We only need to know the two minimum ongoing relations that you two are having. Having, not had.
Having. Reminding each other who we are.
That's not
a
relation.
It is because we are there when each of us has had a hard time.
That's not an ongoing relation.
An ongoing, consistent relation. Then scratch that. Ongoing.
So it's 19, not 20.
19.
Pick another one.
Pick another one. Okay. My mom.
Okay? Name the first relation that you two are having right now.
Dinner tonight at her house.
So you have dinner on a regular basis with your mom.
We usually see each other every week.
Okay?
And we talk every day.
What is the name of that relation?
Parent.
Say what?
Parent, my mother. Mother.
No.
Okay. Name
The name of the relation has to imply the mutual purpose. You are not the parent of your mom.
No, I'm not.
So
it's my relation to her that you're looking for?
No. The relation between the two of you. Relation that means purposeful involvement. What is the purpose of the involvement between the two of you on a regular basis? And the purpose is the name of that relation.
Purpose.
What relation do you now have with your mom? Meaning, what is the activity that you two are having on a regular basis, and for what purpose that you two share? Are you guys having a meal on a regular basis to talk about the trouble of her life only? In that case, that's not a shared purpose.
No. What we usually do is we always talk to each other every day at 5:30 to ask each other how each other's day was.
What's the purpose?
The purpose is so that we stay connected and we know what's going on in each other's lives and how we can help each other.
Why?
Because that is how we define our relationship as family.
But what is the purpose? Because you don't have to do that in order to stay.
No, we don't.
In order to stay, in order to be a family, in order to be in touch, you don't have to have a meal or a phone call with one another every day. But since you're doing it, what is the purpose? Why does it have to be every day instead of every other day, for example?
I assume to share. If I had to say so that we...
Why does she need it? Why do you need it? Because it takes time.
It does.
Why the two of you need to do this on a regular basis? I mean, every day.
Yeah.
Yes. Is it for entertainment, or is it for emotional support, or is it for
information and emotional support?
Okay, then it's an emotional relation. That's the name of your relation. So you have an ongoing relation, which is an emotional relation. Very good. What is the second relation between the two of you? Because you have to have two relations to have a true relationship.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because with only one relation, it's not a relationship, it's a service.
Ah. Okay.
When you talk to a baker every day, you're having a bakery relation, not a relationship. When you go to work with a dozen co-workers, you have a
service.
You have a co-worker, you have a colleague relations, a work relation with all of them, but not relationship. That's a service. To have a true relationship with your mom, you need to have another relation. Otherwise, you're using your mom for emotional support, and she's using you for emotional support, and that is a service to one another. Welcome to the magic of Thumoslang.
Yeah, I'm like, my mind's just going like, whoa, like that's what it's going. Yeah, I mean, yeah. All right. So I think so. We have the emotional relationship. What are the other types of relationships then, or what are the other categories so I can properly define my relationship with my mother?
There are 1,000 different purposes, and therefore there are 1,000 different types of relations. For example, you can have sport relation, or you can have health relation. If you and I getting together every day to exercise, that's a sport relation.
Okay, so if I have emotional relation, then when I'm also, at her house, if she asks for help, then what? Those service relations?
If is not a relation.
Okay. When
is not a relation.
Okay.
As soon as you begin with condition,
okay.
Every conditional statement is not a relation.
Okay, that's good to know. So it needs to be a consistent, ongoing.
It has to be a true, real activity that's ongoing.
Oh, okay. So really that relationship is more.
It doesn't have to be ongoing for it to be a relation.
No.
But that relation has to be ongoing to be counted for a relationship.
Okay.
Because relationship, that means ongoing relations.
Okay. That's impressive. I gotta think because now I'm.
Why is that impressive?
Why is that impressive? Because now I'm reevaluating everyone I know, and I'm trying to think in my head how many I share two types of relationship with.
Time out. Why do you want to jump into that conclusion so quickly? Are you telling me that you're embracing Thumoslang without any consideration?
I am considering it. I'm considering all the things in there because if I go over my dating history, for example, or my friend history, for example, how many do I feel I actually am active in more than one way? And I'm having trouble right now going through and assigning those. And I know part of me always feels like I'm not a good friend or not the best friend I can be. And I'm starting to think maybe it's because the investment, a lot of my friends who I talk to, we have emotional relationships. So many. I could make a list of all my emotional relationships. Relations. Sorry, not relationships. Relations. I can make a list of my colleague relations. I can make a list of my mutes. I have one that I have a music relationship and an emotional relationship with. No. That one I have two with. Same person.
Music relation.
Yeah.
And emotional relation.
Yes.
Therefore, you have a relationship.
Yes, so I have a relationship that I can name off the top of my head out of everyone. I'm sure if I took more, but that's Kevin, my guitarist and friend that I've known for, oh my God.
So do you have a music activity every week with this person?
We do once a month with each other, and that's usually what we set aside.
That's barely.
Well, you didn't state consistency, you said ongoing. Ongoing for the past 10 years.
Once a year can also be ongoing if you are in a different galaxy.
He's retired and I work. That's the whole thing. So we talk every week on a regular basis.
Okay.
We sit down and write together once a month. And then we usually also go and play out with each other once a month. So we do more than that once a month. It's just the things that come to mind are, the writing sessions. That's really where we have a lot of fun.
Okay,
and where we relax.
I give you that. Let's go on. So music relation, great. How about emotional relation?
Emotions.
How frequently?
How frequently? Once a week. We call each other. We tell each other what's going on. We share our personal struggles. And we console each other or we help each other work through those issues.
Okay, so
Oh, now I get another one. Okay, so sorry. Then my cousin Matthew. Matthew, I see every week. We talk every other day. Emotional, and usually we either go out, whether it to be to a bar to have a beer or to
Very
over
good.
to his house. So I can, as I'm starting to reassess, okay, maybe I didn't feel like, maybe it is 20. I just got to really go through this list and figure out what all the Thumoslang relationships are. I'm sorry, everyone that's watching this. I just have to wrap my head into this first. So, no, I do have more than 2. It's just I have to go through and now that I know what these categories are and Thumoslang and embracing it in this video and the couple hours I've been here watching and taking it in, I do have more relationships that I realize. It's just I have to really go through and be like, okay, you're important. We have this relationship. Maybe I want to build on it. How am I going to help build this? Like my friend Scott. Scott, we have a church relation and we have an emotional relation. We call each other for emotional, and we also see each other every week at church on Sundays. We stand next to each other, we talk, we goof around, we also sing together. So we actually have church, singing, and emotional.
Very good.
So there are relationships. I just have to, now that Nick's explained this concept to me, I have to start applying it to my life.
Why? Why do you want to embrace Thumoslang and apply these concepts to your life?
Because I want to be more effective and I want to be able to hold relationships longer and keep them more meaningful in my life. Because, like I said, I can name a million emotional services or relations that I have. It's the other components that I struggle with. And I am very thankful that those emotional relations that I have exist in my world. And I just want to be able to make sure that those people who provide that service to me when I need it, that I can be a true relationship with them. That's why I'm embracing this, because this right now is speaking volumes to me in regards to what I need to do over the next, however long, the rest of my life. Because if I meet someone today, I want them to stay in my life till whenever they decide to go, which I hope is never. But I want to be able to create that foundation with them. Maybe that will fix why I suck at dating. Or why I'm only building one thing. I don't want to build one thing. I want to build a house. I want it to stand. And I want it to weather every storm.